difference between leaders Palace and 10th placed Orient was obvious in all but the score. This move between Jerry Murphy and Peter Nicholas nearly brought an early lead. The goal was almost inevitable, but came from a defensive muddle by Orient. An unselfish back pass from Swindlehurst and Vince Hilaire was the scorer. Elation for him, but an unhappy return to his old club for John Jackson, the Orient keeper. Scoring chances for Orient were few, but they nearly equalised just before half-time. The shot from Ian Moores, who later engineered his team's goal. After starting the move, he found space on the left wing for the return ball. Then a beautiful cross to find Peter Kitchen in space. Palace won, Orient won.
Strongly behind them, and the longer it goes on, because they're such a strong crowd, that can work against them, because it makes them go forward, and you can hit back at them and catch them with their trousers down.
Stoke, of course, have always looked at a very, very strong side, particularly their defence. If I was asked to say who was going to win the Division 2, I would still say Stoke. Would you agree with that?
Well, you couldn't script a better ending to the season, could you? That is, unless perhaps you're committed to one of the clubs involved. But this 5-horse race for promotion has resulted in the second division gates being pushed up round about the £5.5 million mark. And one of the interesting aspects has been that all 5 leading contenders, for the most part, have either all played at home together or all away. While Crystal Palace are here at Leicester, for example, the other 4 leading contenders are playing away from home as well this weekend. It really does look, though, at the end, as though it's not going to be just points, but goals that will count. Crystal Palace went into last night's match at Filbert Street in 3rd place behind Brighton and Stoke. They needed both points to take them to the top and put the pressure on the clubs playing today. For Terry Venables and the other managers concerned, this is the time of the season when they earn their money just going through the agonies of watching. For Leicester, last night's game was crucial too. They're by no means out of the relegation wood and were fielding one of their youngest sides ever. Venables hardly had time to settle down to his seat and his chewing gum before disaster. Goalkeeper Burridge makes one of his rare mistakes this season, and Leicester's Bobby Smith takes advantage. In the second half, Palace fight for the equaliser. Venables has to sit through hitting the bar. It doesn't help when your most experienced player, Steve Kember, is concussed by a fiercely driven free kick. The pulse rate goes up as substitute Vince Hilaire has a goal disallowed for offside. But in the end, satisfaction for Palace. In the very last minute, the Leicester defence loses its composure. The ball bobbles about, no one clears. Palace eventually hit the post, and then finally Hinchelwood knocks it home.
A point ahead of Brighton and Stoke. And poor old Sunderland, after a tremendous second half to the season, finished just 1 point away from the First Division. It must have been murder for the manager, Billy Elliott, to have to watch Palace pip them at the post last night.
To Vince Hilaire on the far side, a tremendous ball, and Ian Walsh diving ahead and thumped the ball tremendously with his head. It's a great goal. It was terrific to come at that time. I began to practice heart attacks, actually, I was it last night.
And the second goal was also a good one.
Well, David Swindlehurst picks the ball up here, and just as soon as he's going to wind up his right foot, you know you've got a chance. And he was rewarded there because I thought he had a terrific game and an exceptional first half.
There was some tremendous crowd scenes, I believe, after both goals. They had to clear the pitch, but I'm afraid there was no chance after the game, was there, when the players made a sprint for the tunnel?
No chance at all. I think in the last 2 or 3 minutes they were all playing on the right wing there near the tunnel so they could get off quick. But that was a tremendous, as you can see the scene there, it was really something special. 51,000 supporters we had, and we knew we had them there somewhere. We got them out of the woodwork last night, so it's up to us to keep them.
I do believe that's you giving the fans a wave there.
Yeah, I was just stretching my arms a little bit. I was cramped up in that box where I watched the game.
Won for the first time in 6 years. They beat Burnley 2-0 to take the second division championship. Afterwards, thousands of supporters swarmed across the pitch to congratulate them. Chris Jameson saw them do it.
Crystal Palace attacked without success till well into the second half. A goalless draw would have brought promotion, but not in style. Then from the wing, Vince Hilaire found the head of Ian Walsh, and Selhurst Park sensed a real victory. There could have been another goal moments later. Burnley's defence couldn't clear. Number 8 Murphy went in, but this time the ball went agonisingly past the line. The crowning goal came from a midfield break. Burnley seemed to fall apart as Dave Swindlehurst, Palace's top scorer, added one more to his tally. And then it was all over. Palace were going up. They'd won promotion back to the first division after an absence of 6 years. For once, a crowd invasion might have seemed justified. All 50,000 fans wanted to see their team, and in particular their manager Terry Venables, who's brought success to South London out of a team that cost next to nothing. Chris Jameson, ITV.